am Michelle Evans and I'm the new General Manager of GSC Auldhouse.
Tell me, how does that feel?
It feels amazing actually, very exciting, very nervous. It's a completely new role, which is fantastic to have, you know, that new challenge for the new year. Delighted that the committee have put faith in me to come in, and yeah, just really looking forward to the opportunity.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, about your previous experience?
Goodness me, I'll try and keep this short. So I've always worked in football. I've always worked in football. I started off in the media. I started off working a wee bit in newspapers, largely in commercial radio, real radio when it was going. I worked on the phone-in, followed Scotland, the old firm around the world, which was absolutely amazing. A great ground in doing that. I then unfortunately got made redundant and decided to kind of reinvent myself, but wanted to stay in football. So I went to work at Partick Thistle, where I worked alongside Ian Maxwell, who's now the SFA Chief Executive. There's just pretty much the two of us in the office. So I was player liaison, manager's PA, I don't know, well-being friend to the players, did everything really at the club. The two of us just worked together, you know, doing everything at the club. Had a fantastic time working with Jackie McNamara and Simon Donnelly at first, and then Alan Archibald took over, won the league that year. I had an amazing, it was really an amazing year of my career. And then I did a short stint at the Commonwealth Games when it came to Glasgow in the press office. I was a ticket and press officer. And then after that, I did a little bit of freelance work. Then I went to PFA Scotland, the Players Union, where I was kind of head of communications and wellbeing. For 8 years, looking after, we had 1,200 members, so, you know, working closely with the players, helping put together a support network for them, helping them with, you know, transition from the game, just being there really kind of 24/7 role. So from PFA Scotland, I then had a spell at St Mirren where I went in as kind of head of wellbeing and personal development, worked largely with the academy players, looking at helping them, you know, with transitioning from the academy into the first team, or transitioning, you know, maybe to another club, or into, you know, maybe leaving. I've got help get 4 of them over to America, you know, doing scholarships. So then I did a bit of work with First Point USA, doing scholarships to America. Ended up at Epic Global Solutions, who do gambling harm awareness in elite sports. So I've worked in football with that, down the Premier League, the EFL, the SPFL up here, which has been a great programme because I know everybody up here. We work in rugby, cricket, you know, in America as well, you know, through the collegiate system. So yeah, I've had quite a, sometimes when I talk about it, I'm like, goodness me, I've had quite a checkered career, but it's all been massively, you know, interesting. And like I say, it's always been that grounding in football. It's what I know, it's what I love. I think I understand it, and I understand players, whether they're professional, you know, whether they're amateur, they're grassroots level. So yeah, hence why I've kind of ended up here. You know, I'm really looking forward to, you know, another amazing challenge.
Why Giffnock then? What was it about this opportunity that really enticed you?
I think because it was new. It was something different. I have a kind of affinity to the club because my nephew plays for them. He's played for them since he was 5 years old. He's now 15. It's 2008 that he's with. And I've done the whole kind of like soccer auntie thing, going around watching. I've been in, yeah, freezing cold, wet football fields on a Saturday morning watching them play football. So I've always kind of been around GSC in a way. And I think it was actually his mum that told me about the opportunity. It was in the newsletter and she sent it to me. She went, I think this is something that you might be interested in. And I went, oh, right, okay. So, you know, I made a few inquiries, spoke to somebody in the committee, Richard, that I know. Yeah, I think just the fact that it's new, and I think when I came here and I had a chat with some of the committee members, I think I'm very, very big on like connections and relationships and you know, going with your gut. And I think when I met them and I could see the passion that they had for it, you know, the drive that was here and the determination to really do something and really make a difference. And I genuinely just felt at home. I just felt like I'd known these people for ages, and I remember walking out that night. I think we sat in here for a couple of hours and we were just talking, and I walked out that night and I actually felt like, it sounds weird to say, I felt like I floated out. I thought, I really want to do this. this is going to be, you know, an amazing challenge. Really great things can happen here. So, you know, the kind of process, we had the interview process and everything. Yeah, I was genuinely delighted when Ferg phoned to say, I mean, I remember seeing, he'd messaged me and said, you know, can you talk? And I was like, yeah. And he phoned me, and honestly, my heart was beating out my chest because I was so like, please say this is positive. So yeah, I know, I am genuinely just really excited to be here.
What will your role entail? What can we expect to see from you?
I am going to be involved with building up the GSC Auldhouse Foundation, the charity foundation. You know, we're looking at that and how, I suppose, we're almost starting from the ground up. So going to be looking at the various different programmes, you know, how we can have that social outreach into the community, you know, and help the people around here. I'm also going to be involved in the club, probably more so like with the academy, looking at the academy offering, looking at what we do in the academy and seeing if my years of being in football, you know, can help, you know, bring something different, I suppose, to the academy. And just really generally, I just want to, you know, there's been so much amazing work going on at the club for the last few years. I came to the AGM the other week, and you know, it was amazing to hear how passionate the coaches and stuff were. And you know, when they announced me, the amount of lovely messages I've had already, you know, from everyone here that, you know, wants to meet you, wants to talk to you about what they do. I've been invited to the girls under 18s Player of the Year on Thursday night, you know, things like that. It's just it's lovely to see, you know, so much passion and warmth, you know, from the club. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to what lies ahead.
What do you hope to achieve? What would make your time at the club a success, do you think?
I think I remember Neil asking me this at my interview actually, and you know, this place where we're sitting right now, to me, I think I want to see this place as, you know, like a hub for the local community and for the club as well. You know, I want to see this place being used, when I say 24/7, don't want them to freak out and think it's going to be 24/7, but you know, every day I want there to be people in here. I want it to be somewhere that people find, you know, safe and warm, and somewhere where they just want to go and they want to be because they know great things are happening here, you know. And I think when you have that, you know, you have the old people, you know, the older people in the community, you know, coming in here, you know, as a kind of warm, safe space for them to be, and they can sit around and they can chat, and you know, we can connect. I think there's not enough. I'm big on kind of relationships and connection, and you know, I think there's a bit of a gulf between the younger and older generations. Let's change that. You know, let's get the kids at the club involved as well and get them in here. You know, mixing everybody being together. Let's have homework clubs. You know, let's have breakfast clubs. Let's just get people, you know, in the community. Let's reach out and just, you know, get everyone together.
Finally, you start in January. What's first on the agenda? What are you hoping to get your teeth stuck into right away?
Obviously the foundation stuff, you know, and looking at the programmes that we can do here. It's about, you know, speaking to the people in the community and finding out what the needs are and what the wants are around here, you know, and you know, that includes your councillors, you know, the police, just, you know, the local groups, etc. Find out what, you know, where the gaps are, and you know, what can GSC do to, you know, to just make a difference and make things better around here. So that I think I'm going to be having a lot of conversations, so I better rest my voice a lot over Christmas and New Year. Yeah, it's just really going to be about building relationships, you know, to start with, and you know, just hit the ground running really with it in January.